I don't know, like, she's out there. You're the Florida version of Sex in the City, JD.
That's when I was smoking my cigars.
Don't be an asshole today. So what are you drinking there? What do you got?
Well, I don't know why I haven't done this before. I've got rock and roll mango flavored tequila.
Oh,
And
man. Okay.
actually, I know why I haven't done this before, because I didn't want to open the bottle, but then why do you have it, right? Judy gave this to me, so I thought this was appropriate for today because Tyler's on the show.
Excellent.
As a housewarming gift, Judy and Terry.
That's beautiful.
So isn't this a cool,
literally,
cool
I've
bottle?
never seen, in my lifetime, I have never seen a bottle of vodka in the shape of a guitar.
Yeah, isn't that great? It's actually tequila, and it's platinum triple distilled rock and roll tequila.
Nice. Oh man, they're the best friends to have.
Awesome.
Are you just drinking it on ice?
Yes, I'm just drinking it on ice. It's actually clearer. The bottle is more. It's not as yellow as the bottle. Yeah.
No, that's cool. We went fruity. We all went fruity. I have watermelon lime vodka.
How refreshing.
Yeah, by J.J. Whitley, Family Distillery.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I just have that with hitting it with a little club soda.
Is that bottle like a crackly kind of? I couldn't see it. Does it look like a crackly kind of glass?
It's actually, yeah, it looks, it's got like little swirly.
Oh, I see. Yeah, cool.
But yeah, I thought I've been on like a watermelon kick. I bought watermelon popsicles. I have watermelon chunks in my grocery order. I got some watermelon chunks. So I'm just like, I was gonna make like watermelon, vodka and like frozen watermelon in the blender, but now the temperatures are dropping. It's like 58 outside right now.
Are you kidding me?
I swear to God, I'm freezing. But I'm so excited that I don't have to have the fan blown on the side of my face like the whole time. So
yeah. 2 weeks ago you had 3 fans going and Rosie upstairs. Yeah.
So today was that kind of day where things are changing. Like it was the sun was blaring at certain points of the day, and then really fast, like a cloud would roll over, dump some serious rain, like enough to make my cat go behind the couch. And they're not even bothered with fireworks. So like that's how loud it was. That's how much rain we got. And then that would blow over and the sun would come out again. So all day long today, I shit you not, from the time I got up, that's all I did was open the windows, close the windows, open the blinds, close the blinds, open the windows, close the windows, just run around, opening the skylights and then closing them again, and then opening the windows and closing them again, and pulling down the blind. I was like, oh my God, I'm wiped out. Like
I got. We had that today too. We had that same weather. I mean, we had like claps of thunder. That was we went outside to check on the guys working in the yard, and I'm like,
"Are you still standing? Okay, good."
Yeah, my sister is always worried about them, like they're all her sons or something out there. I'm like, I think they'll be okay. I have to check on them. I hope they're okay. So yeah, we had that kind of weather.
Yeah, my mom's been saying it's been, finally, like every time I talk to her, she goes, "The lake is so low behind my house. It's like beachfront. Like you can't even believe it." And then she'll turn her phone around and like show me, but now it's been like raining so much that it's like kind of filling back up again. So I was texting a little bit with Donna today, and we were saying how difficult it is, like schooling your parents, like all of a sudden the tables are turned and you're like, you can't do that,
right?
You can't do that. You have to, and the more information you give them, the more they like fight back. And I said to her, I was like all of a sudden, my mother has like the social calendar of a 21-year-old, that's coming in and staying with her, and St. Augustine, and she's going to the casino, and I'm like, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for a text one day that says I'm going to a kegger in the woods. Don't wait up. You know what I mean? Like, this is my mom. I can't. It's insane trying to keep her down. You know what I mean? Like,
You're gonna
God,
get a message. Can I have a sleepover at Susie's house?
right? We're all going to a kegger in the woods. It's a $5.
Oh wow, that's good though. It's nice she's back out because
Yeah. But
so
I
cooped
gotta keep
up.
like reminding her that things aren't back to normal, like 100%. You gotta tone it down a little bit,
Right. No, I get
but
it.
things are normal for us because we've got Tyler.
Exactly.
Well, Tyler,
Everything's better with a mixologist in the house.
yeah,
Especially Tyler. Is he here?
yeah.
Is
He
with
just
us?
popped in the green room. Let's let him in.
He
Let's see how
texted
he's
me he
doing.
had to get another ingredient he missed. He had to go run out to the store.
Let's
There he
see Tyler.
is.
There he is.
Hi.
I feel like we should all be doing like the Brady Bunch thing. Like
We should.
Yeah.
Who's where? JD's down there.
Oh, it's so good to see your little face.
It is great to see you all. How are you doing this fine day?
We're good. We're classing shit up around here, Tyler. Wait till you see what JD's drinking.
Ooh, what you got, JD?
Well, I have this actually compliments of your mom and dad. This was a
Impressive.
housewarming gift when I moved into my apartment.
Ooh.
It's rock and roll mango flavored tequila.
Ooh,
And it's the whole guitar.
that's
It's
awesome.
so cool.
And I have been waiting to open it, and I opened it in honor of you being on the show today. And it's actually, this bottle is a little colored. It's actually clear. It's a clear tequila. But you can see that the color is actually in the top, in the headstock. That's the color of it. You can see it.
That is awesome.
Amazing. I forgot to say that part. It's a mango. I'm not much of a tequila person, but it is amazing. It's delicious. It's turning me around.
Oh, good.
I
don't have anything nearly as ceremonial as that, but I am going for a summertime watermelon lime vodka.
There we go.
With just a little club soda because I'm easy that way.
Good.
Very summery and refreshing.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Jay, the other night when we had Vicky on the show and I was drinking I had a chocolate biscuit salted caramel porter beer, right? And I was drinking salted caramel rum. So when we finished the show, I was slightly hammered. I didn't realize that the ABV on that beer was like 9%.
There it is.
Yeah, I was like, wow. Yeah. And you were right. I should have, because like I kept saying it's a little bit bitter for me. Like all those things I thought was gonna make it, smooth and but it was like a little punchy. And Jay goes, just put the rum in it. And I was like, no, I don't think so. But that's what I ended up doing because I didn't want to dump the rest of the beer out. So I put it in a glass and I poured the rest of the rum in it.
Oh wow.
I was mildly tanked before bed.
Nice.
We try to be mini mixologists, Tyler.
Yes.
I usually fail miserably at it, but I try.
JD's flavor palette is like
I know. I don't think into it too much before I start mixing. But
that's fine. Well, success is just the culmination of many failures. So once you get through enough of the trials, and you'll make one fantastic one, and you'll think you've got it, and then you'll make another 100 horrible ones and wonder what happened. And that's menu development.
So how are things in Memphis? What's going on in Memphis these days?
So I have not spent a lot of time in Memphis in the last month or so. So I know I had my Vegas trip, and then I just did a 14-day road trip out west through New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas, Colorado, Kansas, Missouri. Kind of just did like a whole, all the way through the whole little kind of mid-southwest area.
Was that a classic Route 66 or no?
So it does follow a pretty strong portion of Route 66, which is funny. I didn't realize that. And then you start seeing the roadside attractions like Cadillac Ranch, where somebody just buried a bunch of Cadillacs halfway in the dirt, and all these little stopovers in the the best steak in Texas and the biggest this and the biggest pistachio and all of these things. So
Oh, the
just had a
biggest
grand old time.
pistachio. I
Yes.
hope you got a picture of that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it sounds like the song Route 6, like the lyrics to the song as you were
Yes.
describing the places you went to.
It was great.
Cool,
We
man. That sounds like a cool trip.
yeah, saw a little ghost town that was on the actual Route 66. Like so you exit I-40 kind of right before New Mexico, and then 400 yards to the left of I-40 is the road of Route 66, and just a little town that used to be a Route 66 stop that isn't anymore. So
It's like a ghost town. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
saw some chefs. They're called the Hairy Bikers over
Okay.
here.
Oh,
They have like long hair and they ride those motorcycles with the handlebars that are like way down here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they actually went over to America and they did a little Route 66 thing, and they went to all the greasy spoons and diners to find
Yeah.
the best burgers.
Oh,
And they
yeah.
talked about the town that was no more.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I forget what the name was. It was something. So I was with my girlfriend Emily, and she was just, as I was driving, just like dropping pins on the map of interesting things and be like, pull off here, pull off there, pull off here.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Just a spontaneous
Right,
adventure.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
no, it was fantastic. And we just had a great grand old time, and then spent about 4 days near Steamboat Springs, Colorado, in a ranch house with her family, and just did the whole shebang.
Oh, that's great.
Great.
Good for
That's
you.
nice.
How
Yeah.
did you get time off of work from 3 jobs?
Very carefully.
Fancy coordination. Fancy coordination.
Yes. No, used a good portion of vacation, but it was very well used.
Oh,
Very,
good.
very
Good for
pleasant.
you.
Beautiful country. Again, I'd never driven west before, and it was time to do it. And I understand why it was such a big thing. Like, it was just
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Every couple hours, the scenery changes into a whole new world, and you're just like, just staring at everything. It was awesome. Got to see actual tumbleweed. There is a picture of that.
Okay.
There's a picture of
Wow.
me holding a tumbleweed. Cactus growing in the wild. They were small, but real cactus. That was always fun. I was like, wait, what? Wait, oh, that's a real one.
Ouch.
It's not just on somebody's shelf.
Nice.
There's so much to see in this country. We forget that, because
Yes.
we all want to come abroad. We all want to go to Europe. And
The good news is,
right now we
as
can't.
of today, you don't have to quarantine now if you're fully
Oh.
vaxxed.
Okay.
I was just going to ask you that,
Yeah.
because I feel like I can't come there yet, but
No, they just did it on the BBC News that fully vaccinated travelers from Europe or the US do not have to quarantine.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's
wow.
good. Now maybe I can get my mother over here.
That's awesome.
I was
I'll
so
come
worried
do my
about
little
the
tour. I'm going to come do the pub tour there now.
There's only 3 on my high street. That's pretty much
I know.
the only ones I know.
Play on the street. I'll be a street performer in London.
Yeah, it's just called a busker.
A bus.
That's
A
right. There's
busker.
a name for that.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
gonna get a
hear you've
busker. I'm
got,
gonna get a busker for on this show.
Yes.
there you go.
I love
Yeah.
that term, busker.
I'm gonna get Faye Bagley. She is a professional busker. I'm gonna get her. She's ragey. She's angsty. She stands on the street corner playing her guitar. Yeah, I'm totally gonna get her.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I hear that you've got some ingredients for something, Tyler.
Yes. So I will say that the Marlini is not out of the picture yet, but with
The
this road
Marlini?
trip, but with this road trip, I had to delay it because
That's fine.
I was traveling through the states and just picking up little pieces of this and pieces of that, and just as I traveled and saw these things and tasted these things and went to different restaurants, we went to a beautiful restaurant called Saison in Santa Fe that is just exquisite. Chef is from Mexico City originally, does a lot of very kind of traditional dishes, but definitely amped up and just done to the extreme. They got to have tacos with fried grasshoppers as
Oh,
like the filling.
yeah.
And, I mean, just amazing stuff. And then the
Not
mole.
crickets, not crickets,
Yes.
grasshoppers.
Small
Okay.
grasshoppers. Yes,
Okay.
not crickets though. They were definitely longer and leaner. But
Ooh,
yeah,
you're
it
very
was
adventurous.
yes, but it's also a
Very
place where you're very comfortable and definitely trust the food. They've won a James Beard Award and some other things, so just fantastic. But went there and they did this tasting, and it's just a mole tasting. So you get this plate that just has all of these different moles on it from various different
nice.
locales, styles, all of this, and just really just enjoyed some of the deep flavors of that. Once you start getting into New Mexico, chilies are a huge deal. Red and green chilies. We traveled to a place called Chimayo. It's a little town that has this, very famous like chapel that supposedly has blessed dirt, and in that area they grow something called a Chimayo pepper, and that's the only place in the world where it grows.
Oh, wow.
So brought some of that back. When I was in Colorado, found out that Colorado is doing a bunch of its own kind of like grain and distilling. Absolutely not. But, Colorado does its own distilling though, so they use their own grains to do that. So there's a lot of local liquors in the region, which was
cool.
Very cool. So with all of that travel, went to a really cool liquor store in a city called Taos in New Mexico. That's kind of hippie arts-esque. It was very cool. Definitely a good time.
That's where Julia Roberts lives.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I bought a fossil while I was there. So it's like this big, and it has a little tiny fish fossil in it, but did some fun things there. But they had one of my favorite, just kind of, I guess, amaros would be a useful term. And after all of this, I couldn't not make a drink using all of it.
Okay. All right. So we have a Midwest drink coming on.
Yes. So we have a Southwestern road trip inspired drink that I am calling One from the Road.
Excellent. Excellent.
Love it. Instead of one for the road.
Yes, this is going to be one from the road. So it's going to be a handful of things, inspirations and ingredients brought back.
See what you did there.
Yes. So, you were talking about all of your classy drinks, and I was not quite classy enough. So I was just drinking kind of just a cocktail in a cup.
Oh, perfect.
So it's something. It's something a friend of mine made for me last night, and I had too many, so I just put it in a to-go cup and brought it with me and left it in the fridge. So when I got back from work, I just popped it out of the fridge. So
perfect.
It tastes okay. There's a little bit of the paper cup flavoring in it at this point, but,
that's what makes
paper
it the
road. Out.
But we're going there. Perfect. So on that note, I think it's time to declass it a little bit. And let's go ahead and build us a cocktail.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm excited.
So starting with the base, this is going to be kind of an old-fashioned build, but I'm going to shake it because I need some emulsification. We'll talk about that with the ingredients and why they work and why I think this is a really fun cocktail to drink.
I love
it. This is a Woody Creek Distilling bourbon. It's a bourbon that I found in Colorado that a couple of the bars had that was very good. It is a true bourbon, so it's got the grain build. It's been aged for 4 years. All the really fun things, and it's really light and smooth. So in and of itself, it's a very easy kind of like drinking whiskey. Not quite sipping. It wasn't potent enough to be like, oh, I need to sip this, but it truly has some good, strong flavor to it. And I felt like it was when I tasted it, I was like, this is a really good background to build other strong flavors with. Perfect. So just going to go 2 ounces of the old Woody Creek. And I am going to shake this drink, and you'll see why in a second. Just because there's going to be a lot of potent flavors going in here, I'm going to use a full 1/2 ounce of Demerara sugar syrup. So again, that's more of a brown sugar syrup. It's going to have a little bit more of that robust kind of baking-esque flavor to it.
Already I'm liking it.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
And then we're going to, instead of adding, your kind of standard bitters or anything, we're going to use this product here called Underberg.
Okay.
And it is a German Amaro, usually as a digestif that is really, really popular in a couple of the service industry scenes that I've been in. and they're relatively hard to get. They're imported, you can get them, but a lot of distributors don't have them. So they're really like, people will buy them by the case when they find them. And this is one of the ones that
Is it
we
made,
found.
you said it's made by Bundaberg?
Underberg.
Underberg, okay.
Underberg.
Underberg.
It's a German Maro, so a German bitter, and they come in these little perfectly sized bottles that at the end of dinner you just down them together as friends and cheers. And, but they're hard to find in the States, just because a lot of people don't demand them, so a lot of distributors don't care. This is about the only size it comes in, and it comes in a little box of 20. So so whenever you find them,
It's doable.
yeah. So whenever you find them, you buy all of them. So when I was in
buy all of them.
in Taos, I saw that they had a case of it, so I bought a case of it. And they run for like 89 cents a piece or something. So
yeah,
they're just really fun. So just to add that kind of, they've got a bitter, a little bit of kind of like, in all honesty, like an astringent, fruity flavor to them, kind of like root beer with like less sugar, and
sarsaparilla.
they're really, really potent.
Yeah.
But they're really good. They're really fun. And I find that I use it a lot in cocktails where people might use a Fernet that also has that kind of bitter astringent element. This just has a little bit more of a sarsaparilla-esque taste.
Yeah. Ooh,
so nice. I've kind of built my base there. So I'm going to have my bitter, I'm going to have my sugar, I'm going to have my bourbon and spirit. So now I'm going to start adding some of my flavor ingredients. So again, talking about moles, came home, and this is what I had to run and grab. Came home and we had some amazing, just dark cocoa powder. I was making cocktails with it and all of that, and then was looking for it today to do this, and it turns out it was actually our friends, and they took it home with them once they came over another time. So I had to run and grab that. And for these very specific measurements, I don't know if it's going to read well. It's probably too bright, but we're going to use 2 tads.
It says tad, yeah.
We got these measurement spoons that are tad, smidge, pinch.
Perfect. That's awesome.
So 2 tads, which is going to be about sorry?
I said an eensy and a weensy.
Yes. So we're going to use 2 tads of cocoa powder, which is going to be about roughly a half teaspoon, from what I've seen. And then this is just the gold of the trip. This is sun-dried Chimayo powder. My Roomba's yelling at me. Hold on, it's hungry. Oh, almost there. Okay, now that it's told me it's hungry again, I can get on. So this is the Chimayo pepper. So it's sun-dried and then ground up. This is how they sell it in these little just
snack bags. Yeah.
So this is a 1/4 pound of pepper. And the flavor profile is amazing. It's like you take paprika, a little bit of kind of like red jalapeno, like the kind of aroma of that, and then you mix it with like yellow tomatoes, like when you get sun gold tomatoes. I mean, just a
that sounds so good.
Robust flavor. Not too smoky. Again, this is going to be sun dried instead of baked, so there's not really but it has a natural hint of kind of that like earthiness. And then the best description that we read about the heat is that the heat is like a welcome house guest. So it comes on very slowly and then stays for the perfect amount of time.
Excellent.
So, and it really does. It's not super hot. But yeah, so we're going to do 2 tads of the finely ground Chimayo pepper. At home, you could kind of do a combination between a little bit of paprika and then just a hint of cayenne.
So that's why you have to shake it.
Yes.
Okay.
Because both of these ingredients, if you do them right, are very fine powders. I wouldn't suggest this with something grainy. I wouldn't suggest this with any sort of like, even when you start getting into like anything you're grinding. So I wouldn't do this with like ground pepper. I wouldn't do this particularly with any sort of spices or seasonings generally. But because these are so finely ground, you can kind of see it's already melding nicely. And when I made this cocktail for the first time, I was, just trying myself, and I don't mind getting weird textures or weird kind of scenarios and just going through it. But, whenever you think about it for anybody who you're going to serve to, you want to, keep that in mind.
Amazing color though.
Yes. And,
like
and it truly,
the brown
is this beautiful, like just unique color that you're not going to see in a lot of cocktails.
Right. Right.
No.
So I'm going to take that build, got to shake it up. So
nice.
We need some shaking music for this.
Yes. But we should put
Maracas.
some music on,
Right.
some elevator music. Just and then for this one, I am going to serve it rocks glass, round cube.
Oh, nice.
And it comes out this beautiful reddish brown kind of, very earthy color.
Yeah, like New Mexican soil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful, like,
Wow.
just off clay color. And then another thing that I brought back, I got some sun-dried red chilies while I was also in New Mexico. So for the garnish, just tie the whole trip together. Just let it rest on there.
Man. And
So
that's
get
not
that.
going to blow your brain. Like that's not going
No.
to blow you out, right?
Nope, it's not going to be super spicy. It's very, very aromatic. Again, using the cacao powder just raw like that, just a little bit of it. At the back end, you start getting this nice kind of chocolate finish.
Oh, that's so cool.
I had some very nice like chili mocha espressos and things while I was out there as well that kind of got me comfortable with it. It is going to be a very kind of that pepper chili
But
chocolate combo.
but the demerara sugar is, that's kind of what keeps it calm, right? Okay.
Exactly. And yeah, and this definitely needs demerara. It needs something that's going to stand up to all that stuff. If you just use something, it just kind of tastes sweet at the back end. It doesn't really marry as well. You get some good. And what I like about this is with those powdered ingredients, it's got a mouthfeel. It really does. It's almost like a nice I keep thinking like if you did like a matcha drink or kind of a sometimes you get those like perfect milkshakes that come through the straw.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like very, very, very kind of like creamy from that aspect, but it gives it a nice little like velvety mouthfeel.
That's cool.
That's definitely there, but it's not like gritty. It's not in your teeth or any of that.
Right.
And it's just fantastic. So
here's
one from the road.
Amazing.
That's beautiful. One from the
Excellent.
road.
Well done.
That is awesome. So does it taste super spicy?
Not at all. So again, really mild pepper. That's why if you're making it at home, since Shemaya is only grown in one place and is relatively hard to get, think of a paprika type situation.
Okay.
The cocktail as a whole has an almost kind of bright, peppery, not spicy, but that kind of pepper vegetal that you get, almost like you were kind of a caprese.
Right.
So it's got a little bit of that kind of texture, a little bit of that kind of like balsamic taste to it. It just really, really earthy. Again, definitely would count this as a like after dinner drink.
Right.
Like, amazing.
At the end of the meal, if I wasn't going to do dessert.
I love how inspired that was by your trip. It's just like your vacation in a glass.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes. No.
So did you like did you have anything like this on the trip, or this was your total like concept of everything you experienced?
This was my total concept. I had a lot of tequila drinks on the trip. That area has really good access to tequilas and mezcals, and just from a distribution standpoint, they had a lot of options. So I made sure that I just explored tequila and mezcal while I was there, because it was so readily available, and they had a huge selection everywhere that we went.
Mezcal's pretty big right now too.
Yes.
That's making its way around the circuit, isn't it?
Yes, and that's something just as a heads up, a little bit of insider advice. Get it now, because if people thought Scotch got expensive because of the supply, mezcal is impossible to keep up with.
I see a lot of local drinks with it.
Yes, and a lot of the like regional agave distillates. I mean, you're waiting 7 to 15 years for the plant to reflower and to be harvestable. So I mean, this batch now, when it's gone, you're not going to find the same thing again for a long time. So keeping up with demand is going to be a really big struggle for that industry.
That's really interesting. I was saying how certain things just explode on the scene, like so to speak, like the flavored vodkas a couple years ago. Now then there was the pink gins.
Yeah.
And absinthe was another big thing, right? And now the mezcal. It's like every time I follow I follow this one amazing mixologist from Italy. So I
Mhm.
can't understand anything that she writes because
Oh,
I have to do the translation thing on
yeah.
Instagram.
What is her name?
Um,
I
oh
know
my
I put you
God.
on the spot.
I know.
You'll have to let me know because
I will
I always
definitely
love
let you
following.
know because she's so
Yes.
cool, like all tatted up, funky, cool haircut. Um, but so I found that's one I did, and I follow like advanced mixology and a couple of those, and I noticed that like all of a sudden they're all using mezcal, and I'm like, well, that's the new thing now, then,
Yep.
So yeah, it's funny that you say that it's going to be in short supply. Holy crap!
Yes.
I
I'm
can't
so
I can't wait to see what's going to be next.
I'm so impressed that you create these drinks, these cocktails from so many different, like you wouldn't think that'd be in a drink, like everything you incorporated into this cocktail. And it's like almost like creating the perfect meal.
Yes.
It's like to think about, like, that's like, to me, that's such a talent. Like that's such a creative talent, and yet you understand all of the reasons why those flavors go well together, which makes you and
Yeah.
me,
Yes.
just me.
Well, no, but
Ice is one of
that's
my
the art
main
to it.
ingredients in my drinks.
Yes.
Ice counts as one of my ingredients.
Ice is a very important ingredient.
It's kind of true though, like how certain things work together. I just watched this thing on Netflix, and I think it's old, but I just found it. It's called Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat,
Yes.
right?
Great book.
Great book.
Fantastic book.
I that and what was her name? Samin Nasrat
Mhm.
that wrote it does the Netflix show.
Okay,
But
I didn't know about that Netflix show, so I'm excited.
it's so cool. It's like she explains the reasons why you need those four things.
Mhm.
Like how Italians, how they've incorporated fat in just about anything.
Yes.
And tells you the reasons why, and then also with the acid, like
Yeah.
how that works, and she's in each episode is regional. So she talks about fat while she's traveling through Italy, and then she talks about acid when she's traveling through the Yucatan.
Yes.
So it really is like absolutely amazing when she explains it to you. It's so logical.
Yeah.
It's so amazingly logical. Like it's just like, oh my God, it's changed the way I like approach what I'm cooking now. Like I
Yes.
saw her take sea salt flakes and put it on vanilla ice cream, and I'm like,
Yep.
bam.
Yes.
You
It
know,
changed the
Salty
thing.
and sweet.
it
So
brings out the flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
you think about that, Tyler, right? I mean, when you're thinking of what you're going to create, you put
yes.
all of that into your thought process of
Absolutely. When
a
you're
new cocktail.
developing a cocktail, we joke when we're doing menu development that, like, oh, this cocktail, it's perfectly balanced. It's also boring, but it's perfectly balanced. Like there's always flavors. It's like, so to have something in perfect balance, and what you're really looking for a lot of times in cocktails is you're looking for the balance between when we say heat, we really mean how boozy is it. So where are you on your boozy scale? And then you want to balance the dryness. So how sweet is it? So if it's super sweet, we'll say it's fat. If it's super unsweet, we'll say it's a little thin. You can say dry, but that's usually when you're building the mouthfeel, you're sitting there. Then you play the acid component. And that acid component, whether it's going to be citrus, whether it's going to be whatever's in your bitters, anything like that, even the sugar that you use and the alcohol you use has an acidic or basic nature to it. And you want to get those things in balance first. So my favorite thing is get a bottle of just white rum, get some lime juice, preferably fresh juiced. Obviously, I have to say that because it's better, but whatever lime juice you can find, and then just some simple syrup. So just some sugar and water, just everything basically clear. And generally you do about 2 ounces of rum, 1 ounce of lime juice, 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. And that's going to be like a perfectly balanced daiquiri. Try it before it's chilled, because that's that heat element now. Now we're going the opposite way, but the heat. And then when you shake it, try it at different points in the shake. So you're not making a drink. You're literally shaking for a couple shakes, pour some out. Shake for some more shakes, pour some out. Shake for some more shakes, pour some out. Shake for some more, pour them out. And then try just that. And you'll be able to see where those things balance from a temperature standpoint. Then put more lime juice, put less lime juice. The daiquiri has so little going on with so few ingredients that if they're in perfect balance, it tastes amazing. And if they're not, you notice really quickly. You know which one. And that's what makes it fun, is you can tell really quickly, oh, there's too much booze, or oh, there's too much citrus, oh, there's too much sugar, like really, really quickly. And that's a beautiful, beautiful example of just the daiquiri experiment.
That's amazing. That, you know, it's just absolutely incredible how all that stuff works together, and it always has.
Yeah.
But it's just now that, you know, mixologists are bringing that to the forefront and creating things that just are off the wall, you know.
And I think it's fun that it's now getting to the point where some of those trade secrets are being shared. Because the people who are really good, they always knew. It wasn't accidental. When you get some of these amazing bar programs that have stood the test of generations, they knew what they were doing. They just weren't documenting it the same way.
Right.
Or they weren't sharing it, or their manuals were in code, or they made sure that only employees had the manual, or it was only, you know, chained to the table. All of the fun
the thing too is that, like, a lot of people are, you know, definitely not because of the pandemic, but I think a lot of people are just more interested in it and doing these creative things at home. You know, and it's a little hard to get your hands on certain things.
Yes.
You know, like that's
like Chimayo pepper.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, it's bitters. Like, I have a hard time finding bitters anywhere.
Okay.
You know, because we don't just have liquor stores here. Every store sells liquor. Your grocery store sells it. Your mini marts sell it. It's not like an exclusive store where it's just got like wall to wall different boozes. So it feels really limited, you know, as to what you can go out and get your hands on. So I'm reading these ingredients and all these cool like mixology pages, and I'm like, nope. Can't find that. Never find that. Never heard of that. Never, you know. So yeah, it's if you're interested in it, I think it's like you can really like deep dive into it. And start, you know, I don't have enough space in my house for all the stuff that I want to try, you know.
Absolutely.
It's got to be a 1 in, 1 out rule, and we just don't drink that much. That's where we're at with wine, you know, like 1 in, 1 out, man. Like, don't bring another bottle of wine in until we finish the one that we've got. So, but yeah, with the booze thing, that's why I like buying the little ones too.
Yes.
Because you can, you know, those are easy to store. Those are, you know, those I've got space for those. And, you know, once you open them, you got to finish them. So, airplane bottles. I love them.
So will one from the road make it on the menu where you're working right now?
Oh, not with that special chili stuff, man.
It will not with the special chili powder. We are doing a full revamp. Yeah, but we are doing a full revamp. And we're gonna have, like, our summer menu was, we all admit, a little too summery. They're like all juicy sweet. Yeah, they're all juicy sweet, like porch pounders. There's not really. We got excited, but we will admit there's not too much depth on the menu. So we're being much more strategic this time around. So
is this at the Gray Canary or at 8 and Sand?
This will be at 8 and Sand.
Okay, cool.
So one of the things though that you highlighted, JD, that's really something that I've fallen into and fallen in love with is the idea of the savory cocktail. The meal in a glass.
I love that.
Pickleback, man. The pickleback. I still dream of that thing, man. The pickle one, man.
So things like that. So that's really so the kind of, you know, I think it would be fun to do a chili cocoa inspired, just because I had so much fun with it, and just it was really there. It wasn't, you know, just a stereotype or anything like that.
It's
like,
such a thing. I mean, chili chocolate now, you know, like everywhere you go, you can find chili chocolate. It's amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was there, and it was there. I mean, everywhere you went, there was actually chilies, and people actually talked about them. And, you know, it's one of those, like, sometimes you're like, is it like just the tourism movie thing? Like, you go to Florida, not really anyone cares about Mickey Mouse. Like,
Yeah.
come on, you just
Yeah.
go there if you're not from here. But it was fun
Right,
to have
right.
people actually like be interested, intrigued, and want to talk about these things. And I was like, that's cool. I love whenever I get inspired for something. So I'm gonna try to do, and we'll see what falls out with the menu, but I'm gonna try to do a savory kind of a spicy chocolate drink of some
Oh,
sort.
I think that's
Like a
especially as you're
version.
rolling into the cooler weather.
Yes,
Mhm.
Like something that warms you kind of, inside out. That's perfect
exactly.
timing.
Right, right.
And that may have to be the move. I may have to wait a menu refresher too.
Wait 1 month.
Something like
Wait
this
1
is
month.
not going away. I really enjoyed drinking it. I think people are going to like it. I have drank probably 15 of these since I've gotten back. So, so I think it works. But
Excellent. It's so cool, man. I love it. That's why I love having you on. It's just I feel like I come away with something new every time,
Oh,
every
yeah.
time. Yeah. And then I just want to like go at my bar. Just go
yes,
at it.
I look forward to see what your mind is going to create and come up with each month, to see what new thing because it's never anything predictable. I love the way you think outside the box and what you put together.
I think that's, that's with the knowledge that you have, you can be adventurous like that and think outside the box and not make something that's it's gonna, taste like hose water, it's like,
well, also you get the final product. Of those 15, there were probably 10 that I wouldn't give to a friend. But one of the things about making cocktails, and if you're going to be doing it, you got to drink some bad cocktails. I've definitely, there's the honing in process that we like to talk about. We're like, oh, it's already good, but we're fine tuning it. But we don't usually talk about the whole like, nope, that didn't work. That wasn't good. And you're sitting there going, do I drink it or do I not drink it?
I know, doesn't it feel like sacrilege to just throw it down the drain? It's like,
Absolutely.
that's how I felt about that shitty beer the other day.
Yep. It's like,
Add the rum to it. It made it so drinkable. I was like, wow.
That's
Might
how
do
I
that
felt
next
about my coffee. What was it? Coffee, vodka. What was that? It was horrible. It was awful. I had to throw it out. Peanut butter, coffee, something vodka.
No, you had some kind of berry thing in with the coffee that didn't work.
Oh, right. It was like a
Right?
berry flavored vodka with the coffee
Yeah.
flavored something else. And then, did I throw the peanut butter part in there?
No,
I don't know what I
it
was
didn't.
thinking. It wasn't good.
It was so bad. Just hearing her
Was-
read out what was in it was making me, it was like, wow. Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
and on that note, I am gonna, I don't want my head to get too big. I don't want my ego too inflated. So you sold me. Let me go grab something out of the fridge real quick. That was my last night experiment.
All right, you got 2 minutes. Go.
Oh, wow.
All right. So
I'm loving the color of that wall, by the way. I love everyone's dark walls. I'm gonna have to make one.
I know. I'm like looking at my baby blue and I'm like, man, that's so dated. Yeah.
Looking at my beige.
So that color is Urbane Bronze. It won 2020's Color of the Year for Bear.
Love it.
Somebody.
I love that.
Yeah,
color.
our interior designer picked it out. We don't have that good of taste. So, but it does. It looks really nice and it makes a good, nice art wall.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The two blue and pink pieces are a UK London artist, Joseph Neat. Fantastic
Excellent.
work. Very interesting individual. Please look up Joseph Neat. Hashtag no. So this is what happens when you try something. I thought that I could take the Bacardi pineapple, throw in some berries and some lime, and then carbonate it in my soda stream.
Oh. No.
Yeah, it tastes exactly like I took Bacardi pineapple, put some berries in it, and added some carbonation.
It just sounds like fruit punch.
Yeah, it was good. I was very proud of it, and then I took a couple sips of it. And, it's not bad, but I had some friends try it, and they told me that I can drink it.
Oh, that's funny. The lesson is like, you may come across some failures.
Yep.
But
right.
Out of that you will eventually find success. And I love that. I love that. I think that's a perfect note to end this on. So
Yes.
thank you, Tyler, again.
Thank you
for
so much.
showing your
Thank
knowledge
you,
on this.
Tyler.
Always an amazing time. Thank you for giving me a reason to create some stuff that's off the wall and exciting. So
Great.
until next time, cheers and thanks for having me on.
So long, buddy.
Next time.
Next time.
Yeah.
There's Bessie.
He drank way too much whiskey.
It's like never stop chasing your dreams.